Energy lines often give you very big surprises, and that was the case this weekend when I went to pick up Eva from the place her son and daughter-in-law were staying. You see, the day before, Eva and her daughter had walked across country to that location, and Eva had found what she thought was the Mokoš line. She wanted me to go and confirm what she had found. It was one of those strange April days, snow and blustery cold winds one minute, sunshine and beautiful warmth the next. But we went to the location that Eva had indicated the line was at, and sure enough, we confirmed the presence of the Mokoš line. It even seemed to be headed towards the town of Trebic that we could see in the distance. We actually found the line in two locations along this woodland pathway. The Mokoš line is the negative energy line of the Templar alignment Per. I've started to feel her in my heart even before we reach the line. It's an interesting new phenomena of dowsing. The line seems to like wells, water, that kind of thing, so we weren't surprised to find this well, Studenka, on the path of the Mokoš line in the midst of the forest. Unfortunately, the well had died a little bit, as we discovered when we went to investigate it. There was still a little bit of water flowing, but it was predominantly overgrown. Nonetheless, it was another sign that we were indeed on the Mokoš energy line. After confirming the presence of the line in a couple of places, we then set off back to the car and started to look for the Perun positive energy line that pairs with this one. We ended up driving quite a distance into a small village. Relevance is a small village that goes back to its first mention in 1277 and has quite an ancient 12th century church dedicated to St. Giles. We were dowsing from the car, but we soon found a strong energy line which we identified as the Perun positive line passing through a children's playground and this church. After a quick look at the map, we decided on a certain direction to find where this line went to, and of course, lo and behold, we ended up right back where we'd started, because it turned out that the Perun line passed just by the house she'd stayed the night in. Now, can you explain that to me, because this sort of thing happens all of the time. We then found the female energy line again a little deeper into the village, passing through this castle, which is now the town hall, and what appeared to be some kind of a spring converted into a celebration of Easter underneath it. The line crosses this lake, and I noticed from a distance a cross situated on the other side of the lake, and so we decided to go and investigate. So once again we find the line in a place of personal importance to one of us, which is kind of weird. Go through the lake and into the castle behind me. It's the negative line. So when we managed to get across the lake to investigate the cross, what we found was a sign telling us that this was going to be the site of the Stations of the Cross. Interestingly enough, everywhere that we have found this female line, there seemed to be a Stations of the Cross. So yet another coincidence, or is it? Anyway, by now the day had turned into a beautiful spring day, sunshine, and we took a few moments to enjoy the view before finding the female energy line in a forest and mapping it a little bit further across, and then finding the Perun line passing through this hunting lodge in the middle of that forest. The hunting lodge is an 18th century building that's used for weddings. And if I told you that Eva's son's wedding took place there, I'm sure you wouldn't be surprised, since the line not only passes by where he's living now, but also passes through the site of the plot of land he intends to build on. Plainly, he and the Perun line have some kind of an affinity. We then found the female line again passing through this church as we moved in towards Trebich, and of course both the lines come into a vortex here at the Trebich Basilica. Finally, we headed towards a place called Budishov to take a look at this fine chateau that originates from the 13th century and was built on the site of something very, very much more ancient. Well, the Templar alignment does not pass through it, but we did find 2 pairs of 25 pace wide lines crossing within that chateau. We also found a number of other 15 pace wide lines also moving into that vortex where the chateau is located. So plainly, this is a place worthy of another visit in the future to try to figure out what is going on with these smaller energy lines that are crossing and forming a vortex at this place of great historical significance in the area. All in all, it was a very bizarre day. It was one in which the 2 energy lines took Eva to places of importance to she and her family. It was almost as if the day was telling us a story through the energy lines. Almost again as if the fates spin these lines through your life, bringing you into some kind of creation mystique. Anyway, this is what the lines look like as we've mapped them so far. We do know that they head towards Telch, and that will be the next part of our journey. Thanks for joining us. I hope you liked the video. If so, please do subscribe, like, and share. Thank you.